seated. Welcome to this sacred space, a space that Karen lovingly led us as a minister here for 17 years. And so it is fitting that we come together to celebrate her life on this occasion and to celebrate all that she means to us. I'm Ted Reeve. I'm the coordinating minister here at St. Paul's, and so welcome you into this space. We light the Christ candle this day. Karen had a sense of the Christ candle as representing the Christ consciousness, a consciousness of love and caring that extends through us and through this energy out into the world. We also light this rainbow candle. This candle represents a sense of inclusion for all people. All people are welcome here. All people are included in the presence of that divine light that holds us and carries us here and in life beyond light. The yellow candle lit by Alan represents Karen's energy and love as it comes into this room. Let us worship together this day. We also, in this community, do a land acknowledgement as part of our recognition of where we are. So we acknowledge Creator's blessing in this beautiful place, the lands and waterways, and all that Creator has given to us. We also acknowledge the many First Peoples who, through the generations and millennia, have been good stewards of this land and water. We also acknowledge, as those who have come in latter times, our appreciation for this land and water, but also that our journey has been one of colonialism that has impacted us all and has particularly impacted the First Peoples. So we together now journey on a path of reconciliation and seeking to be treaty kin with each other. We come into this place in acknowledgement of this land, this waters, and all that we bring into this service this day. So be it.
On Wednesday, February 21st, Karen Celeste Hilfman-Millson crossed over from this life to the next. She died at home with Alan by her side, and Karen was sprinkled with yellow rose petals to represent the light that she saw in all of life. She was placed in this simple casket that her grandchildren drew on, including a tree of life by her granddaughter, McKenna Celeste, and with comments by all of her family and her friends. And now we gather to celebrate Karen's life by remembering the way her light and love inspired us, by grieving and celebrating together in the midst of memories, and to surround her family with a commitment to support them, to hold them in love for the coming days and beyond. My name is Jody Maltby, and I am a friend and colleague of Karen's for many years. And Alan and Sarah suggested that I share a story to help you understand why Karen asked me to lead this service. And truthfully, when Karen and I first talked about it last spring, I was surprised and honored, but surprised. And she said that she knew I would stick to her script. And I said, well, mostly. And she said she knew that, and that was okay. And she would be comfortable with changes I made or those that have been made by Alan and Sarah and Melissa. I know it brought her great delight to imagine the possibilities for this time together, but she also knew that this service is for her family, and it's for her children and her grandchildren. And so the greatest gift that we can give Karen today is to care for the people she loved most in the world. And the last time I was with her, just about a week ago, she entrusted me to be sure that we did that. And I think that was the cornerstone of our relationship, Karen and I. Even though we were very different, there was trust. We understood each other well. Karen and I worked together, we played together, we traveled together. We wrote liturgy and policy, and we talked. We talked about dreams and ideas, about our family and our faith and our fears. We didn't always agree, and I think sometimes we frustrated each other a lot. But we were honest and mostly kind, and we laughed a lot, and sometimes we cried, and it was good. So this service was planned by Karen and also by her family. Most of the words are hers, and the heart came from all of us. And I also want to acknowledge all of those who couldn't be here in person and we know are joining us online. Especially I want to acknowledge Karen's very dear friend, Blair. We miss your presence, but we feel your spirit. So the theme today, because Karen always focused on a theme in her worship, is the focus of her life. It is about our lives being guided by the vision of wholeness and well-being that is held in us like seeds filled with potential planted in our hearts that calls us to live our lives as ones who connect to the divine love in us, in all who we encounter and in all of nature, so that the light of love deep within us is shared through the moments of our lives. And now, while Dan plays the music of a song much loved by Karen, Deep in Our Hearts by John Oldham, Karen's family is going to come forward to light the candles that are in holders made by Alan, Karen's husband. There is a candle for each of the 7 of her immediate family, plus the one for Karen that Alan lit when we arrived. And these candles represent the circle of love in which they lived, the power of light in each one of them, and the light that flows between them, among them, and out into the world. Deep in our hearts, there is a common vision. Deep in our hearts, there is a common song. Deep in our hearts, there is a common story telling creation that we are one. Karen lived her life as one who saw goodness and possibility all around her. She was constantly noticing when things were shifting toward and emerging as the kingdom of God's love on earth. So we're going to hear now two favorite pieces of her poetic writing describing her vision. The Poetry of the Cosmos by Karen Hilfman-Millson. The poetry of the cosmos sings deep in our soul. Listen, listen. It is waiting to be heard. Awakened in stillness, carried on the breeze in the trees, heard in the songs of the birds and in the sound of laughter shared. The poetry of the cosmos twirls in our midst, calling us to life and laughter and play, inviting us into a dance of joy beyond the ego borders that limit and sever connection by the power of fear. The poetry of the cosmos beckons us to trust and delight in this world of awe-filling experiences that continuously present themselves if we are open to see. The poetry of the cosmos connects to the song of our heart and weaves together the passions of our souls to create a tapestry filled with boldness of colors and textures, shapes, and intricacies that are beyond the limitations we place on our imaginings. The poetry of the cosmos is all around us and deep within us. Listen, listen, and let it lead us in a joyful dance into life filled with the abundance of resources shared, creation honored, each one known to be loved, and wholeness lived. The poetry of the cosmos is amongst us, standing on the tiptoe of anticipation for the moment of our awakening. And now I'm going to invite Karen's daughters, Sarah and Melissa, to come and share another of Karen's poems with us. Do you need this? Okay.
No. Parenting with the Eyes of Love by Karen Hilfman-Millson. Though my parenting style has baffled people over the years, I delight in the wisdom of our daughters. What is our role as a parent? Loving our children into being the fullness of who they are. Being cheerleaders and safeguards as they explore this world and discover their wisdom. Providing support as they take risks. Knowing it's not our job to only give answers, but also encourage the questions. Teaching by providing choice. Teach through being fully ourselves. Teach life skills that are so integrated into our experience together, life becomes the teacher. Speak gently, knowing that the bond between us and our child is so strong, our presence, our words, and our voice are amplified tenfold. Let go of our expectations that are external to who they are instead, and instead celebrate our children, presenting and encouraging healthy choices for them. Live in the present moment together, savoring each delight, each joy. Be there when they want to talk, Honor their uniqueness and gifts and essence of who they are. Honor ourselves and them when we make a mistake by acknowledging it and naming our hope they will forgive. Allow life to teach. We don't need someone pointing out to us what the great teacher of the experience has already taught. Follow the positive energy, ignore the negative, let it die through lack of attention, affirm the goodness.
And now I'd like to invite Karen's sister Janice to come up and share a few words with us. And then after Janice, we'll hear from Sarah and Melissa. And then we'll have a video prepared by McKenna.
Karen and I were 18 months apart. I am the older sister. I always hoped that she would preside at my own funeral. I was brunette, very dark hair, dark eyes. Karen was blonde with the most beautiful, striking blue eyes. In this last week before she passed, I would look into those eyes and I'd say, there you are. There's my sister, who I love and who loves me. When we were little, we were very close. We spent lots of time together. Karen's favorite game was teacher. In the basement, my dad and mom had prepared a blackboard and 2 little desks, and little stuffed animals would change places at those little desks, and Karen would spend hours teaching. And she was always annoyed with me that I did not want to be a student. So that is the role that you all played with her. Karen and I went to college together, and when she was diagnosed the second time, when we knew that she would not recover from the cancer, I was in England serving a mission for my church, and I received permission to come home while she was still healthy and strong. And we spent a week going around and visiting all the places of our childhood and the places where we were young mothers, and it was wonderful. And if you can believe this, as we were traveling down Highway 400, just as the cars start to back up, the way would be open and we would be heading off. We never had any traffic problems. The homes we went to always had people, even in the middle of the afternoon. The people who had bought from our family were there to show us around and let us see our old homes and the old places we stayed when we were in college. Karen and I talked a lot, and we talked about you. We talked about her friends and the people that she ministered to. And the takeaway that I always got was that no matter how hard it was, because she buried over 300 people in this church, she always looked for the light. She looked for the light in everybody. And that's what made being a minister and caring for people in her community and her family work for her. One of the greatest joys as we spoke every Monday for 3 years was that I was able to write a song for her. And I'm not a singer. I had our band sing it and perform it, and it's the background of one of the slideshows that you'll see again today. But I wanted to share the words with you of the song, because when I shared them with her, it was very special. Seeker, that's what Karen was. Seeker of light and love divine, always reaching out with tenderness, laughter and joy around her, always and for all of time. Husband, daughters, grandchildren, family has been blessed with her. Seeker of love and light divine, caring for her mom with understanding, mentor to all around her, parents, siblings, teachers, helpers, students, we have all been blessed with the gift of you. I loved Karen, and Karen loved us. Thank you.
For those of you who don't know us, I'm Sarah, Karen's eldest, and this is Melissa, the baby. Gosh. Growing up, we had one of those rock star moms where the whole neighborhood hung out at our house. In Comber, the backyard and the playroom were always filled with kids and toys, and snacks were always available. One year, Mom even organized and hosted my class for a field trip to the house. She organized all the antiques from my parents' house, got more from around the community. She dressed the congregation up in outfits, and we went from place to place, and the congregation taught us about antiques. When it comes to antiques, we as a family spent hours searching for special pieces. Whenever we were driving around, especially at camping, if Melissa and I saw an antique sign, we would very loudly and not smoothly attempt to distract our parents by the other side of the road where there's grass. They knew what we were doing. It felt like we drove a lot as a family. Between camping trips and going to visit family that lived further away, we had long drives. Dad did not, and still doesn't, like to stop for bathroom breaks. So Melissa and I made up a song to NSYNC, and we would sing it nonstop with Mom smirking or laughing in the front seat until Dad pulled over. Mom has always loved and has been drawing to being beside the water and being in nature. She always made sure that we had pictures beside every body of water we went to while we were camping. So we'd take a nice picture from the front, and then we'd have to turn and look over the water. So there's hundreds of pictures of our backsides in family albums. Mom was always available if we needed to talk. Tuck-ins at night could last for hours. Sitting at the dining room table after dinner was very rarely a quick thing. And she would stay up late anytime we needed guidance or just to talk about something. That also went for a lot of our high school friends. She was truly there for all of us. Sleepovers usually had Mom in the room having long talks with us, and then she'd wrap it up with a meditation to try and get us to go to sleep. Mom was also the parent who called other parents to see what the party situation was going to be like while we were in high school. It got to the point that if we were going, other people were allowed to go because Karen checked it out. And if she wasn't 100% sure, or if it was far away, she would bring a book and sit in the giant green van and just wait for us. Our childhood was always filled with lots of pictures and videos being taken. Any gathering, you could hear Mom say, "Oh, can someone get a picture of this?" We would tease her about her love of photos, and now we both do the same thing. Mom didn't believe in editing or deleting any of the photos that were taken, though. So every year on our birthdays, she posts a series of photos that she had taken of us of that year. It doesn't matter if we are picking our teeth, disciplining a child, or mid-chew, it makes it onto Facebook. Mom loves birthdays. Everyone got to pick their meal. Chocolate cake with chocolate icing, covered in Smarties, was our traditional family cake. And growing up, Mom always made sure Melissa and I had a small gift to open while we were with her, or as we got older on the phone, at the time we were born. Today is Mom's birthday. We didn't have time to make Grandma's good chocolate icing for the cake, but we do have a chocolate cake covered in Smarties for Mom in the back. Oh, food is Mom's love language. Mom and Dad love planning meals, thinking up new recipes, and having people at the table. Special meals had lots of different prep and lots of options. Mom and Dad both say often that they love options. The table was always set with puffed napkins, and Mom didn't believe in not using the good stuff, so we grew up eating off the good china and drinking juice out of crystal wine glasses. Melissa and I also didn't ever need to eat the hospital food when we were having our babies. Mom and Dad showed up with hot plates of food heaping with deliciousness, and they would sit with us while we eat and visit, and then they'd go home and eat it as leftovers. Mom loved her grandchildren. She would sit and listen to their stories for as long as they wanted to talk. Buying and reading books for them was one of her favorite things to do. She loved going on hikes and exploring nature with them. Some snapshots of Mom's life would be cooking, reading, pots of herbal tea, wild sweaters and vests, camping, candles, retreats, Hollywood rummy, musicals, late night talks, chocolate birthday cake, family visits, pottery and antique hunting, and cocktail hour with Dad every night.
Which lasted to the end.
Which did last to the end.
Kept going.
Our home was always filled with music, dance parties, and bad impromptu karaoke was a thing. The night before Mom passed, Melissa and I had a final dance party with Mom. As she laid on her hospital bed, not responding to any of us, we blasted a combo of Disney songs and 90s and sang and danced with Mom one last time. We love you and miss you.
This is Karen. She's a family member to some, a friend to some, but most of all, she was a loving soul. She may be gone, but her love will never leave us.
Thank you.
This is a favorite book of mine. It's called The Next.
Thank you, McKenna and Janice and Sarah and Melissa. It's good to share these stories, these glimpses of Karen. And there will be time after the service for all of us to share our stories with one another and with Karen's family. But now, as you got a sneak preview, Karen herself wants to share a story with us. It will be known and loved already by some of you, but we're blessed with this chance to hear it in Karen's own voice. After which her good friend of many years, Betsy Anderson, who may want to come forward now so you're ready, Betsy will speak the words of committal that will also be spoken at a later date in a private family time at the ceremony. So here is The Next Place, written by Warren Hansen and read with love by Karen.
This is a favorite book of mine. It's called The Next Place by Warren Hansen. It's being read to you today by Karen Celeste, Hilfman-Millson, and read to you with love. The next place. The next place that I go will be as peaceful and familiar as a sleepy summer Sunday and a sweet, untroubled mind. And yet, it won't be anything like any place I've ever been or seen or even dreamed of in the place I leave behind. I won't know where I'm going, and I won't know where I've been as I tumble through the always and look back toward the when. I'll glide beyond the rainbows, I'll drift above the sky, I'll fly into the wonder without ever wondering why. I won't remember getting there, somehow I'll just arrive, but I'll know that I belong there and will feel much more alive than I have ever felt before. I will be absolutely free of the things I held on to that were holding on to me. The next place that I go will be so quiet and so still that the whispered song of sweet belonging will rise up to fill the listening sky with joyful silence and with unheard harmonies of music made by no one playing, like a hush upon a breeze. There will be no room for darkness in that place of living light, where an ever-dawning morning pushes back the dying night. The very air will fill with brilliance as the brightly shining sun and the moon and 500,000 stars are married into one. The next place that I go won't really be a place at all. There won't be any seasons, winter, summer, spring, or fall, nor a Monday nor a Friday, nor December nor July. And the seconds will be standing still, while hours hurry by. I will not be a boy or girl, a woman or a man. I'll simply be just simply me, no worse or better than. My skin will not be dark or light. I won't be fat or tall. The body I once lived in won't be part of me at all. I will finally be perfect. I will be without a flaw. I will never make one more mistake or break the smallest law. And the me that was impatient or was angry or unkind will simply be a memory, the me I left behind. I will travel empty-handed. There is not a single thing I have collected in my life that I would ever want to bring. except the love of those who loved me, and the warmth of those who cared, the happiness and memories and magic that we shared. Though I will know the joy of solitude, I'll never be alone. I'll be embraced by all the family and friends I've ever known. Although I might not see their faces, all our hearts will beat as one, and the circle of our spirits will shine brighter than the sun. I will cherish all the friendship I was fortunate to find, all the love and all the laughter in the place I leave behind. All these good things will go with me. They will make my spirit glow, and that light will shine forever in the next place that I go.
Come.
We celebrate that Karen's spirit continues to soar, and the light of her love continues to shine. We also acknowledge that the significant part of her that we walked with each day, Karen's body, will be returned to creation, earth to earth, ashes to ashes, dust to dust. May we know that Karen is enwrapped in love, enlightened by joy, and filled with gratitude. And that her eternal love, connected to us and to the divine love, will empower us to support one another to be all we can be in this circle of love. And so, in the words of Jan Richardson, in the leaving, in the letting go, let there be this to hold on to at the last, the enduring of love, the persisting of hope, the remembering of joy, the offering of gratitude, the receiving of grace, and the blessing of peace.
The beloved community candle represents us, reminding us of the light of love within us. As we end this time together, we are reminded that there is a point of light in each of us, and our lights are connected heart to heart to heart. When Karen had us each light a candle, we would follow her invitation to look deep into the light and know it was a reflection of our center place of power. At the end of a gathering, Karen would have us blow out our candle, knowing we carry that light within us. And then she would ask us to watch the smoke rising, knowing it is all our love rising before us, as we go into the world spreading its impact in a positive difference that it makes.
Ministry here at St. Paul's was her involvement with many, many youth through the inquiry group, and I know that a number of you are here today. These people remained very dear to her heart throughout her life, and Karen wanted one of these special people, Shannon Howes, to lead us in the commissioning and benediction that Karen always used. And I invite Shannon to come forward. As Shannon comes up, I also want to say on behalf of Karen's family, thank you so much for being here for this service today. And I want to invite you to stay after for a time of refreshments and sharing your stories and your memories. So we'll stand in a moment for the benediction, and we'll stay standing for the choral song that we're going to do, just one of Karen's favorites. And then the casket and the family will head out, and I'd ask you to stay standing if you're able. When the song finishes that escorts Karen out, the bells will ring 17 times, once for each year of Karen's ministry here at St. Paul's. So I invite you to remain quiet while the bells ring. Following that, we'll be able to go out. There's food for us out in the atrium, and you can help yourselves. Please feel free to come back in, to sit, to chat, to watch the slides and listen to Janice's beautiful song while we spend some time together. Also, I want to let you know that there is a basket of stones. Some of you may have already taken some. And if you wish, as you're leaving, please leave a stone by the peace pole, which is located just outside the church near the parking lot, and put a stone there in memory of Karen. So I offer it to Shannon. Oh, and we need to.
And so, let us go forth into the world with a daring and tender love. The world is waiting. Let us go in peace. And all that you do, do it by the power of love deep within you. And as we journey, may we see the face of love in everyone we meet. And may everyone we meet see the face of love in us. Walk with me.
shall I stay? Would it be a sin if I can't help falling in love with you? Like a river flows surely to the sea, darling, so we go. Some things are meant to be. Won't you take my hand, take my whole life too? 'Cause I can't help falling in love with you. Like a river flows surely to the sea, darling, so we go. Some things that